Alright, this will be the trade recap for Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. Looking at the market, we've got a nice rally that kind of started to balance out. From yesterday, it was just above this previous supply level. You can see that 4 hour base and drop. That's where the supply was. We're now basing right there. So I'm kind of watching just how we can respond here at the 6375 area, which is acting as res and is a very higher time frame key level. You can see it be support a little bit there, or sorry, resistance, support, resistance recently. So my first watch really was for this recent uptrend to continue and bounce off of there. Now, I was also watching for if price was able to reject off of this 6375 and show weakness there and show that this higher time frame key level is going to hold this downtrend from before, and we start pushing down. If we can claim under this next key level, which is 6350, I would then be looking for this downside to continue into that next key level, which is support. It's very easy. It's just going with what the higher time frame move is telling you and then kind of filling those gaps. It's really all the moves I'm looking for. So you can see the market opens up pretty slow in a range and then eventually gets some aggressive selling off into our 6350 level. So based on my plan at this point, I really should only be watching for the break of this level for a retest and push down. But based on the confirmation I get at this level and what I saw here, I thought that the market was possibly looking to reverse here and push to these upsides, kind of as a higher time frame upside trend hold now, with this previous support level turned resistance now holding to see if we can get that. That's not the move that's extremely likely to me, but based on the confirmation here, I got in. So we'll look at it. Sorry. All right, so we get the sell-off right at about 10, right on some news. It's getting buggy. Okay. Lots and lots of selling into this level from this 10 a.m. news. Get some nice aggression coming in. This is where I wanted to show this. Dude, stop bugging, God. It's so slow right now, it's pissing me off. My mouse. Okay, here's all that selling coming in into our key level, kind of on the way into the 6350s, and then you're getting a lot of attempts kind of also down there near the 6350s. And I'm not really seeing the 6350s break with all this aggression that's coming in. We're getting that big push into the level right at 6350, bounce up, get some more selling coming in, sell off into the level. We're really testing that 6350 now. More selling coming in, buying coming in off of it. And then on this sell-off retest is where I went ahead and got long. You can see this bid right here starting to defended that first sell-off, kind of defended that second. Now we get another sell-off into it, and what I see is this buying start to come in here at 10:08, some larger buying, and then another aggressive retest at 10:09. So here's that buying that was kind of coming in at 10:08. 10:09, we get one more aggressive retest. I'm looking for that to fill and get long. I get in long. I've got this absorption that's occurred, some possible trap sellers as confirmation, and I can place my stop loss below this bid and low of day. Now, getting into the actual management of this trade. I got in long here at 6351.50 with, I believe, a 4.5 point stop. And we get about 5.5 points run up before we dump. And in hindsight, I really wish I would have reduced risk or even moved my stop to break even, because, as I said, this wasn't a trade I was planning for. I was really looking for the break of this level down to the downside, because my higher time frame bias is that we're rejecting this key level. I think that this key level can break and hold for the downside. But as I said, there's two sides to all of it. We could have easily bounced here. So I'm fine with taking that trade when I see it. That was great confirmation. And we got, and like I said, it could have easily gone. It started going for a little bit. But where my error comes in is not cutting this early, letting it hit full stop, and then letting that loss kind of let me FOMO in, revenge into another trade, which I was only in for a minute before it hit my full 5-point stop loss, which I'm not happy about that one at all. But yeah, we got in at 10.16 because there was this stupid 250 lot buyer that came in, and that's pretty much all I saw. I saw the break of the low, and I saw there was a large buyer there, and I thought, hey, these sellers are going to get trapped. There's interest coming in down here. It's going to reverse. But I just really shouldn't have taken that trade. My plan was downside at this level. Everything looked weak. I was really jumping in at the first sign of confirmation on that, and that took a quick loss. 5 points. Yeah, this easily should have been one small loss here or one break-even loss, and then I'm chilling on the day looking for the real move I'm watching. So we eventually get that break. You can see we got a nice little break and retest set up right here. Had I not lost two trades, I might have taken this. But I will say the setup. I like to see a little bit more of a break before the retest. So that's what kind of held me from not taking this setup, even though it did retest the level perfectly. So I wanted to see a little bit more downside first. But if I had taken 0 trades on the day, I might have been a little bit more keen to taking a slightly lower probability setup right there, which is that. But instead, I wait for the sell-off. At this point, I just have to wait for a possible pullback. And I was watching either for this full level to retrace or this kind of intraday support turned resistance. And just because I didn't think we would pull back all the way up to here necessarily, especially with the confirmation I saw. So let's see, we get break of the level, just slowly trickling down, pushing lower. And then this is that aggressive retest that I like to see for break and retest setup to that previous support turn resistance that I was just talking about. Now, I was willing to lose on this trade and take one more. If I lost on this, stopped out, I was willing to look for selling one more time here. And if I lost that trade, or even if it won, I was done for the day, and I'm done for the day currently. But yeah, we get that aggressive retest. And as soon as I kind of start to see this slow down and fail, start to see some type of defense, which is kind of the selling coming in, and really just this aggressive buy and failing right here. You kind of have an offer here, but that's not something I'm gonna really write down in my journal. It's more that had the aggressive break, aggressive retest, and then aggressive retest failed, showing acceptance, and then we got that nice push lower. For my skill outs, I was looking first for a 2R, which was right below low of day. So here's my entry. Risking a little bit less on this. We got out those two at 2R. I trimmed another one just below. And then I was kind of looking for 3-2 into 25s for the rest of my position. So I scaled out at 3-1.5. 3-2.5, and then this runner was taken at 3-2-2. This runner got one tick away from hitting 2R stop right here at 35.75. You can see this candle got up to 35.5. So I ended up getting another 13 points on my runner just by that stop getting kind of lucky. So gonna end the day break even. I'm down like one tick. So I'm going to call that break even. And it definitely could have been a green day. Had I just followed my plan and not even looked for anything extra, I could have caught in the break and retest for a nice dump down. But I'm happy I took the long. It was really good confirmation. I just have to learn from it and, um, you know, reduce my risk when we're kind of getting to that 1R level, just because that was a lower probability setup. And then also I need to have the discipline to not get in that little revenge trade right there. If I handled this any better, I would have had a nice little green day. But it is what it is. I could have tilted through all this. I could have been forcing trades. I didn't. I stuck to my plan, and I'm gonna learn from those losses and get better coming into tomorrow. All right, that's all.